Hey everybody, my name is Brenda Tringali. I'm a professional organizer and owner of At Your Fingertips Organizing. So, what does a professional organizer do? I think a picture is worth 1,000 words. So this is a before and after picture of one of my clients. So she had a couple of goals. Her long-term goal was to be able to downsize and move in 3 to 5 years. But her short-term goal was to be able to entertain family and friends at home. The picture on the left is what her dining room table looked like before we started. The picture on the right is what it looked like when we were done. So needless to say, she was thrilled. So I would like to tell you a little bit about myself. So I am originally from Massachusetts, and I lived the majority of my life both in Massachusetts and in New Hampshire until my husband and I moved to Myrtle Beach a couple of years ago. I have both a bachelor's degree and a master's degree, and fresh out of college, I became a social worker. And after that, I then moved into the human resource field where I spent the next 30 years. I can't believe it. But as much as I loved it, I knew deep down in my heart that I wanted to be a professional organizer. So right around that same time, my husband and I were downsizing, not just our home, but also our lives. So we were downsizing from a 3,000 square foot home to a 1,000 square foot condo. We moved successfully, and that's when my career began. The first thing I did, I joined NAPO, N-A-P-O, and that is an acronym for the National Association of Productivity and Organizing Professionals. I immediately started taking classes, and I was hooked. I have since earned 2 specialist certificates from NAPO, one in residential organizing and one in workplace productivity. Also, I love volunteering for NAPO. So I am the chair of their Social Responsibility Committee, which is called NAPO Cares. And we highlight how NAPO members give back to their communities each and every day by sharing our time, our treasures, and our talent. And I love that because I always give back to nonprofits locally. So let me tell you a little bit about my business. So my business is insured. I offer free consultations. I have a pricing plan literally for every budget. I prepare a customized service agreement with every client. In terms of my service area, so the greater Myrtle Beach area I service in person. However, if there are clients who want to work with me that are outside of that area, I will work with them virtually, so via video. And last but not least, I offer gift certificates. I'd like to quickly touch on the benefits of downsizing before you move. So benefit number 1, you will save time, because as we downsize, or as you downsize, you will get rid of the items that you no longer want or need. So that means you will have fewer items to both pack and then unpack on the other end, so you'll save time on both ends. Another benefit, you will save money. So typically moving companies base their cost on quantity, so whether it's number of boxes or the weight of your load, whatever. So if you're moving less items, you should be paying less in moving fees. Benefit number 3, less stress. If you want, by downsizing, we can actually start the packing process at the same time. So for those items that you want to keep, but you know you don't need to use in the immediate future, we will actually start packing those up for you. We'll label the boxes beautifully and just continue the process. Benefit number 4, decision making. So clients tell me the hardest part of this process is making decisions regarding what to do with their items. Should they keep them? Should they give them away? What I have found is that the more often you make these decisions, the better you get. It's like a muscle. So that'll be another benefit. You'll make decisions better and faster. And benefit number 5, last but not least, you actually will get organized in this process. So typically when people need to downsize, they have a lot of items. They are overwhelmed. By going through this process, I will help you transform chaos into order. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the ramifications if you don't downsize. So the 2 that immediately come to mind are, number 1, you will burden your loved ones with this process. So unfortunately, if you're gone, who will do it? So whether that's a spouse, a child, a grandchild, a special friend, whatever, please don't do this to them. It's a terrible burden. Another disadvantage is if you have prized possessions, family heirlooms, or treasures that you want to give to someone or whatever, if you don't designate that in advance, they could end up in the trash. So please don't let your memories end up in the trash. Start downsizing now. So how can I help you? Okay, so we know I can help you downsize. I can help you declutter your space, your possessions, your paperwork. I will help you with decision making. Be forewarned, I will not make your decisions for you, but I will help you. If you have items that you that are of value that you would like to sell, I will help with that. If you have items to be donated, I will actually drop those off at a local nonprofit for you if you'd like. I will help you pack and unpack. I will help you complete a home inventory if you want of your possessions. That can be used for a number of purposes. The three that immediately come to mind are that it'll help you determine how much coverage you should have so that you are not underinsured for your homeowner's insurance. God forbid if something happens and you need to file an insurance claim, you'll have the information at your fingertips. And last but not least, estate planning. So you can actually use this inventory to designate to whom you wanted to leave certain items. A couple of other services, vital document management. If you don't already have your emergency grab and go binder, I can help you with that. Either paper or digital version. And last but not least, paperwork scanning is another service that I offer. All right, so how do you start the process? It's very easy. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step number 1, you call me. We'll have a conversation on the phone. We will talk about your project. We'll talk about your timeline. We'll talk about your budget versus my pricing and find a great compromise for you. We will then move to step number 2. If and when you're ready to schedule your first consultation or your free consultation, then we'll do that. So I would come out to your home. I would take a look at your project. We would review my service agreement. I want to make sure you have absolutely no questions about that. Also, I want to make sure that we click, not only from my perspective, but from your perspective. I want you to feel 100% comfortable with me. If and when you are ready to proceed, we will schedule your first appointment. We will discuss payment options, and we'll then talk about supplies that you'll need for the process. And last but not least, step number 3 is actually our first session. That'll be our hands-on session, and that's really when the fun begins. I promise you, I do try to make this process fun. So, that is it. Again, my name is Brenda Tringali, professional organizer, at your fingertips organizing. So, 2 things. If and when you're ready, just give me a call and we'll start that 3-step process. If you're not quite ready, if you're not quite there, then what I suggest is follow me on Facebook. This way, I do weekly videos, so you can see my videos. Every week I do a different video on a different organizing or productivity tip that hopefully, and I do believe you will find that helpful. So again, I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much. Brenda Tringali.